Friends and comrades. Today is March 5th. It is a remembrance of Karl Marx. Today we talk about various terminologies, namely imperialism, US hegemony, or British hegemony, or finance capital, and then we also talk about that small industries are being eaten away by the big capital, and then the big companies are acquiring smaller companies, all these acquisition, merger, mega amalgamations, all these terminologies are being used with a different understanding. But what is the prime point that Marx has stated? That should be understood. All these explanation, like imperialism, all these things, Lenin has categorized, no doubt about it. Marx himself has classified very beautifully in Manifesto. If you go through 20th paragraph, nobody has explained the current liberalization as that of Marx, and nobody has appreciated capitalism as that of Marx. The way capitalism will heed for lot of rampant changes. Like him, nobody was able to visualize what will be the trend with which capital will move. Basically, one thing we must understand, that if you go through the entire 3 volumes of the Capital, Marx has never indicted any individual capitalist. He might have quoted some individual capitalist, their argument in British court or in the floor of British Parliament. But he was very firm on one thing: the system of capitalist production that is exploiting the labor. That should be understood basically by us. Right? Now, how to understand this? All these, so many euphemistic terminologies are used. Common man is unable to understand, especially with the workers. We explain the impact of the globalization in lot of examples, with a lot of examples. These are all the effect of capitalism. That's all. The movement of capital, that is giving some sort of impact on the workers and on the society. We are explaining only one, that aspect. But what we are forgetting is that why it is done. You go through that. The characters of dialectics, cause and effect. That we must understand. What is the cause? This capitalism function. The only point that capitalism is driven, the only force that capitalism drives is profit. So, for the cause of profit, the society exists, and that gets accumulated, and that gets centralized. When both this accumulation and centralization takes place, finance capital enters its another phase, and today what we are facing, all this finance capital, liberalization, all those things. What does it mean? Capital is forcing the respective government to liberalize the law in favor of capital. Therefore, the laws which are in favor of the workers are being pushed back, or rather diluted, and laws which were hindering the growth of the capital is removed, and the liberalized laws are being amended so that the accumulation of capital and centralization of capital is gearing up a momentum and further strengthened. This is what we have to watch in the entire capitalist system of mode of production. This is one aspect of it. But how to understand this? What is the capital accumulation? It is nothing but the difference between the wages paid for the produce and wages unpaid. That's all for capital accumulation. If you identify these two, it is only the difference between these two, paid and unpaid wage. It is only the difference between these two, capital accumulation takes place. Right? A very simple understanding we should have on this aspect. This we call the other way around exploitation. All right? This is one aspect of it. This is theoretical. More than what we call that the reality what we talk about, the form by which the impacts are created in the world due to capitalist mode of production, which are tangible. All right? That area we are talking more. But are we explaining that it is the mode of production that is the problem? If so, how many of us do, and how many of the workers are able to understand it? That is a question. Now, to understand this very simplistically, let me put an example. Say a piece of land is there, say about 100 farmers are harvesting that land, and they may get about 5,000 rupees wages for that. All these people are ordinary farmers. But then, adjacent to it, or in the same land, if a capitalist mode of production, a capitalist peasant, if he uses a machine to harvest, this 5,000 rupees will be lost to these workers. Right? So, now, in case, if these workers collectively, if they generate money through cooperative system, and if they go for the same machinery, this 5,000 rupees will be in their hand. Fine. Now, the basic content we must understand is that in whose hand the tools of production remains. Who is having the tools? Who is the owner of the tools of production? That is prime. This is what Marx effectively keep on emphasizing. The workers should understand on whose hand these means of production, all these production tools, including raw material, land, everything. Okay, right. Today what is happening due to liberalization? In a special economic zone, a company is coming, 5 or 10 years, electricity is free, water is free, tax free. What is this? Is it happening whether taxless petrol is given to the worker? I am asking. Whether taxless medicine is given to him, whether taxless water is provided. First of all, there is no water through the corporation, and for that, even for the non-receipt of water, we are paying the tax. That is the situation. All right. Whereas so much of advancement is given, then whose capital? Then naturally a capitalist will try to will have the opportunity of accumulating and the capital, and naturally bigger than that the endpoint of this will get centralized. One side it will accumulate, and another side it will centralize. Now capital will always do two things simultaneously. This is what we have to observe. Marx, what he is asking the workers to understand is that simultaneously two moments of the capital. One is that technology will increase, a newer technology will come. Suppose, say for example, I am sawing with a saw, I am breaking a piece of wood, and I require somebody else to help me on the other side. We both take this saw and keep on sawing that, so that the wood piece is broken into two. Suppose machinery is there, a sawing machine. Only one man has to lift it in his hand and keep operating the machine. Within 5 minutes, instead of we taking 1 hour, that fellow will finish in 5 minutes, breaking the piece of wood into two. This is what will happen. Ultimately, what will happen? That man will get the job, we both will lose the job. This is the situation. So, one side capital will accumulate, another side loss of job will be there. Those who are able to operate their higher technology, there can be demand in capitalism. But those who are unable to operate these technology, they will lose the job. And what happens is that in the process, lot of joblessness will be generated in capitalism, not because of the particular capitalist. It is because of the system of production this happens. That we must understand. it is capitalist mode of production. Had the tools been there in the hands of the worker, as we saw in the agriculture, what will happen? It will go to the society. So what should be the crux? The crux is that what Marx says or what Lenin says is that it is this socialistic, the tools, means of production should be socialized basically. For that, the system, the political system, capitalist mode of production should get transcend to socialism. I think this is a area that we should understand as a principal point why capitalism, unemployment continues to remain, why poverty continues to remain. Because of the unemployment, poverty continues to remain. Therefore, Marx says very clearly, poverty and capitalism are two sides of the same coin, and unemployment and capitalism are two sides of the same coin. Can anybody deny this? Whole globe accepts this. Even Capital has become one of the prime book to be accepted, and it is one of the highest book recommended or read. This is the situation as stated by BBC. Let us follow Marxism. Let us understand the concept of the Marxism. True, we should understand the impact, but the content of Marxism should be understood. The capitalist system cannot deviate from this. Any capitalist who does something against the role of the capital, the system of capital, the capitalism has certain laws. Within that framework of law only, even a capitalist can function. Suppose we say Ambani or Adani or Birla, we are only bringing the capital, we are giving a shape. It is personified. What Marx says is that what we denote by a particular individual, Bill Gates, it is personified. Capital is personified. But otherwise, it is a system behind it. If any one of them violates the capitalist system, they will be thrown out from the system. This happens everywhere in the world, and we would have seen this. Therefore, it is a system that we must understand instead of keep on hampering on various definition and euphemistic terminology. What Marx has stated is that it is a transcending of the present capitalist system that is most important. For that, we must understand the means of production should go into the hands of the workers. That is socialism. That transcending aspect should be understood by the worker, and on the occasion of his birthday, let us remember this concept. Let us propagate this answer, this to the working class, and let us rejuvenate them with all vigor and vitality for them to work hard to achieve their benefits, to protect their existing benefits, and for further advancement. Thank you.